Sandra Bullock is my favorite actress. She has been ever since I watched Speed at home on VHS in the fall of 1994. I was 10 years old. I was just starting to get permission to watch R-rated movies, more from my dad than from my mom, honestly. And Speed totally blew my young mind. I loved the action, the comedy, the surprises, and I absolutely adored Sandra Bullock, who managed to take an absurd situation and make it feel so real. Her chemistry with Keanu Reeves was off the charts, her moments of humor and emotional pain all ring true, and then once I saw While You Were Sleeping and The Net the following year, let's just say I was a fan for life. But even someone like myself who thinks the world of Sandra Bullock, I never thought the Academy Award was ever going to happen for her. Throughout the years I wondered if the right role and project could get her a nomination, but her powerful turn in Crash was too brief, and her excellent performance in Infamous as Harper Lee was an example of bad timing, the similar Capote coming out a year earlier and getting Catherine Keener an Oscar nomination for playing Harper Lee. It was fun to be a Sandra Bullock fan in 2009, getting 3 releases, the first the wonderful romantic comedy The Proposal, the second the abysmal so-called comedy All About Steve, remember that one? And the third the sports family drama The Blind Side. There had been Oscar buzz swirling around The Blind Side for a few months, but after I finally saw the movie, I just couldn't believe it. I thought the film overall was too slight. But then holy cow did that movie become a mega blockbuster, and wouldn't you know it, suddenly everyone looked at Sandra Bullock and said, "You're the Best Actress winner this year." She won at the Golden Globes, at Critics' Choice, at SAG. She wasn't even nominated at BAFTA, but by early March 2010, Bullock had all the momentum, and she beat out Meryl Streep and Julie and Julia to win the Oscar trophy. Her speech is one of my all-time favorites, especially the moment when she pays tribute to her mom Helga, who died in 2000.
If I can take this moment to thank Helga B. For not letting me write in cards with boys till I was 18, because she was right, I would have done what she said I was gonna do.
I went to bed that night thinking, wow, Sandra Bullock is an Oscar-winning actress. She's going to have access to the greatest material now, strong stories, not tour directors. Was a second Oscar nomination possible for Bullock in the years to come? We didn't have to wait too long for that question to be answered. Bullock, just months after winning her Oscar, signing up to be in the 9/11 drama Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, directed by Stephen Daldry, and the space thriller Gravity, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. Both projects sounded deeply personal, as well as definite Oscar contenders. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close came out first, at the end of 2011, and it did get into Best Supporting Actor for Max von Sydow and Best Picture at the Oscars, but Bullock's performance was pretty much ignored. Such was not the case with 2013's Gravity. I can say with my hand on my heart, this was the most anticipated I had ever been for a movie. My favorite actress was teaming up with one of my favorite directors for a high-budget but intimate and emotional story set almost entirely in space, and after shooting wrapped in the summer of 2011, we had to wait more than 2 years to see it. However, Gravity was worth the wait, because upon its release in October 2013, it shot up the ranks to become one of my favorite movies of all time, and Sandra Bullock, who had been good or great in so many films before, had never reached the heights of what she brought to the character of Dr. Ryan Stone.
But I'm gonna die today. Funny that, to know.
As Alfonso Cuarón said when he accepted his Best Director Oscar a few months later, Bullock is the heart and soul of the film, the one element that pulls everything together to make something truly magical. On Oscar nominations morning in early 2014, I was so very excited to hear the name Sandra Bullock in the Best Actress Final 5. I couldn't believe it. It actually happened. My all-time favorite actress had just received her second Oscar nomination for a performance that in my mind is monumentally better than the performance she won the Oscar for in 2010. So, did she actually have a shot at winning an Oscar for Gravity? 2013 was quite simply a fantastic year for cinema and for women in film, and the Best Actress lineup at the following year's Oscars was one for the ages. Amy Adams for American Hustle, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Judi Dench for Philomena, and Meryl Streep for August Osage County. I mean, just wow! a phenomenal group of actresses giving delicious performances in a variety of genres. At the 86 Academy Awards on the night of March 2nd, 2014, everybody in Best Actress was a return nominee, and only one, Amy Adams, hadn't yet won the gold trophy. Meryl Streep was on her 18th Oscar nomination just 2 years after winning her third Academy Award for The Iron Lady. Streep had been nominated so often in the 2000s, leading up to her big win in 2012, that one might have thought the Academy would finally cool on Streep, at least for a few years, and stop nominating her for everything, but such was not the case because after August Osage County, she returned to the Oscars with nominations for Into the Woods, Florence Foster Jenkins, and The Post. I don't think she came anywhere close to a fourth Academy Award win for any of those performances, but her riveting turn in August Osage County is a memorable one, her going toe-to-toe with Julia Roberts, always fun to watch. Judi Dench was the only Best Actress nominee who didn't show up to the ceremony that year. Apparently she was filming at the time, but her performance in the comedy drama Philomena was another gem from the legendary actress. She was on her 7th Oscar nomination, after having won the Best Supporting Actress trophy in 1999 for Shakespeare in Love. If Philomena had come out in a different year, maybe there could have been more of a narrative for Dench to win an Academy Award in the lead actress category, but alas, Best Actress in 2014 was just too damn competitive. Similarly, Amy Adams might have won the Best Actress Oscar for her incredible performance in American Hustle in a different year. Adams on her 5th Oscar nomination at that point, her bold turn in the David O. Russell film netting her the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Comedy or Musical. By early 2014, she was definitely overdue for a win, but apparently American Hustle just rubbed enough Academy members the wrong way, because despite receiving a whopping 10 nominations, including 4 nominations in the acting categories, the film ultimately went home with nothing. Could we say Sandra Bullock was in second place? It might have been close, but no, given the genre of her movie, with all that action and special effects, and with really only George Clooney the other actor in the movie, I'm thinking Bullock was probably in third place, behind Amy Adams. Bullock was nominated at every major precursor ceremony, including BAFTA this time, which she didn't make it into for The Blind Side. She did win 1 televised trophy, Best Actress in an Action Movie, at the Critics' Choice Awards, which allowed her to make a few jokes about the category she was in.
I would first like to thank Jackie Chan, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme for teaching me everything I know. It's not easy doing what we do, people. It's not easy.
And say some nice words to her director, too.
I'd like to thank Alfonso Cuarón, whose vision, whose kindness, whose patience, whose brilliance, whose ability to strap me to every apparatus led me to the best place in my life on every level.
To be honest, it was weird to sit through that award season as a major Sandra Bullock fan and just watch her remain in her seat time and time again, always losing to Cate Blanchett at the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, at SAG. There was some great Bullock content to pull us through, however. I especially loved what happened at the Golden Globes. Tina Fey nailed that classic joke about gravity, and I'm pretty sure Bullock's reaction was all of us watching from home.
It's the story of how George Clooney would rather float away into space and die than spend one more minute with a woman his own age.
Sadly, Gravity was just never going to be Sandra Bullock's second Oscar win. As it turned out, the nomination was the prize for Bullock that year, because no one, and I mean no one, was even close to beating Cate Blanchett for her astonishing performance in Blue Jasmine. One of the finest actors of her generation, Blanchett was always on her way to an Oscar win for Best Actress. After winning Best Supporting Actress in 2005 for The Aviator, she just needed that amazing role for her to sink her teeth into, and Blue Jasmine was the one that did it for her. Woody Allen's film a hit with critics and with audiences, and Blanchett's performance just blew away any of her competition that entire award season. Blanchett won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. She won at Critics' Choice, at SAG, at BAFTA. Sandra Bullock didn't even attend the BAFTA Awards ceremony, despite it being the only time she's ever been nominated there. I think by Oscar night, Bullock knew in her heart she didn't have a chance in hell of winning. Her reaction to Daniel Day-Lewis calling Blanchett's name not showing any surprise, although I do love her surprised reaction to what Blanchett says about her in the speech.
Sandra, I could watch that performance to the end of time, and I sort of felt like I had.
I'm thrilled that Gravity won so many awards that night, 7 Oscars in total, so well deserved, many of the winners acknowledging Bullock's contributions to the film, Bullock smiling and rooting for her colleagues.
And with Sandy Bullock. Sandrita, you're absolutely amazing.
At the end of the day, I'm happy my favorite actress didn't just get a single nomination and win for The Blind Side, and then nothing else after, which might have signaled to some that her Oscar victory in 2010 was only a fluke. Gravity proved it was no fluke, that when called upon by a great director and project, that she can be a tremendous actress. She's done excellent work since. I especially love her dramatic performances in 2018's Bird Box and 2021's The Unforgivable, and I'm hopeful that a third Oscar nomination is in the cards for Sandra Bullock. I would love to see her return to the Academy Awards, not only as a presenter, but as a front-runner nominee for yet another phenomenal performance.